Hello there, my name is Edira Wangui from Kodarasa, and today I'm going to be speaking about factories and repositories in domain-driven design. Let's look at them. Let's start with factories. What are factories? Factories abstract away the creation of a domain object. What do you mean when you say this? It means sometimes there's a lot of activities that are required or a lot of parts that are required in creation of a domain object. So what a factory does is abstract all that logic away so that the person is not concerned with the creation and also the usage of the domain object. So they do abstract away. For instance, if I need to get details from the database, get them, fetch them without showing all this work to the user. That's what a factory does. When creation of an object or an entire aggregate or even value objects becomes complicated or reveals too much of the internal structures, factories provide encapsulation. So I've explained this. So when it comes to creating entities, the factory should leave it in a stable state, and when it comes to creating immutable things like value objects, you leave it in a final state when you're setting up the factory in the first place. A lot of work is required to create a domain object, whether it is entities or aggregates, and that's where factories come in. Some of this work will include accessing external resources such as databases, files, APIs, etc. You create a factory to build something whose details you want to hide, and you place the factory where you want that control to be. When I want to hide things, I create a factory and then also put this factory in a place where that control is controlled. Factories are the C in CRUD. Another thing I need to talk about when it comes to factories is, one, it's for the creation of a new object and also reconstitution of a new object. And these two factories will look different. For instance, one for creating a new object will not require maybe an ID. It will auto-generate this ID. But when reconstituting, this ID already exists, so it will be fetching it and recreating it. So because of this, these two factories will look differently. Let's look at repositories next. What are repositories and what do they do? I mentioned an aggregate having a life cycle when we were talking about aggregates, and the C, that is the creation, is where factories come in. So repositories abstract away the retrieval of domain objects. So the retrieval, the update, and even deletion, that's where the repositories come in. They get or modify existing objects. Here, they deal with existing objects from the life. So the creation goes to the factory and the RUD goes to the repositories. Then the lifecycle ends. It's the RUD in CRUD. That's what, when we're looking at CRUD, that's what repositories entail. They often operate as abstraction layers in a database, but this can also apply to files and APIs. And that's simply it when it comes to factories and repositories in domain-driven design. One abstracts the creation, and the other, that is the repositories, abstracts the retrieval and modifying of this domain object. Thank you for watching. My name is Edira Wangui from Kodarasa. Like and subscribe. Come back for more, and bye until next time.